Welcome back, RestoMods Nation. We are here with another project that we're gearing up to give away to one of you lucky winners. This is going to be a 68 GTO. So we've never done a GTO before, but it is a GM A-body platform. This thing has been pretty much fully restored, but now it's time to do the modified part. This car has factory suspension on it. A lot of the bushings are wore out. We drove it around. It rides like a fishing boat, to be honest with you. It rides nice. It's soft, but it doesn't live up to modern handling standards. So we reached out to Speedtech and got their full track time package. This is just a complete front and rear suspension overhaul package. The upper and lower control arms have a lot of neat features, all Delrin bushings, revised suspension geometry, big inch and 15/16 sway bar. For the front, it has a rear sway bar. The rear sway bar is all adjustable. And then the rear control arms have a really trick. This is their Articulink. So it's got a no bind setup so that when this thing travels through its range of motion, you're not getting any binding in the rear forelink. So we're really excited to put this on. This is all going to be complemented by some Viking adjustable coilovers. So everything is fully adjustable on this kit. Everything from pinion angle, even wheelbase, and obviously ride height. So it's going to get a little lower also, which always helps with the looks. So we're excited to get started tearing into this factory fresh GTO, get all these nice parts on there, and see what the difference is in the ride. Okay, so now we got some of the stock stuff off, and this is, when I say stock, I mean like from 1968. This stuff is old and crusty. You can see at some point maybe a ball joint's been replaced, but I doubt it. But really now you can see the side-by-side comparison. There really is no comparison of how beefy this Speedtech stuff is. It's actually lighter too. Although it's like a lot stronger and the tubular design is better, and you can see clearly the cross shaft is a lot stronger, improved geometry on this. But just to show you the big difference and why we're even doing this. And then also some of this stuff like the stock coil springs are big and heavy. The coilovers are definitely going to improve on that. This is the stock front sway bar, and this is going to be a big difference for this new front sway bar. You can just see the size difference. That's where you're really going to feel the handling difference. Shocks leave something to be desired, so you shouldn't probably be able to like just compress a shock and then it's just going to sit there and not do anything. So we're going to be upgrading that. And then the drum brakes. This car had drum brakes in the front. We didn't talk about this initially, but we're going with Willwoods in the front, so these all came off too. It's the perfect time to upgrade everything. We have our steering links on the ground here. We didn't know what kind of condition they were in, but once we started tearing apart the suspension, all this stuff just needs service. So we're going to go ahead and put all new stuff on as far as steering. I think we're going to do a quick ratio box too. That way it's a more cohesive package. It's not just bolting a bunch of good suspension and not addressing the steering or the brakes. You kind of always want to make sure your car is dialed in, like well-rounded. So with that being said, let's start putting some of these cool parts on. All right, guys, we're back on the GTO. So what we were doing here was the Speedtech install, but while we were in there as an added bonus, we decided to upgrade the steering. So we have a brand new Borgeson quick ratio box here with a new rack joint, and then all new Pro forged steering links, tie rod ends, forged adjusters, and then of course our go-to with the brakes. We got big Willwood 6-piston brakes, so this thing's gonna stop on a dime. We're also upgrading to a power brake booster. This had a manual brake master cylinder. And in the back, you can see all the Speedtech stuff. In the back here is all dialed in. We're just waiting for these Viking coilovers. We're going to slam those in. Sway bar went in. Everything went in pretty smooth. So we're excited. This car is going to handle like it's on rails. here's a sneak peek of the wheel setup we're doing. So this is like what you expect to see on a Pontiac. This is US Mag's Bandit series wheel with a redline tire, which is like a really cool GTO type thing. And then we're going to do all new body bushings. So a lot of while we were in there type stuff, but it's what we want to do to make this car really dialed, take advantage of all these really nice parts from Speedtech, get the rest of the car kind of up to par. Okay, we're continuing the Speedtech Performance upgrades. And for the coilovers, they set us up, shout out to Viking. This is going to be a real high quality coilover setup. Adjustable shocks. This is going to take the place of the old blown out shock and spring combo. So huge thanks to them for sending this out. I'm going to get these assembled on the table and get them thrown on the car so that we can get back in this thing and take it for a rip. Okay, quick update. We are continuing work on the GTO. So we're in the rear end now. We made a little progress here. You can see these Viking coilovers around. These things are awesome. But we had drum brakes here in the rear, and that wasn't going to be good enough because we had these really sweet wheel woods in the front. So here we go. We're doing the disc brakes with the internal parking brake in it, and some black calipers and everything to match. Junior's got his side in over here. So you can kind of see these will still have a parking brake. It's basically a miniature drum that goes inside the rotor. So we'll get that all hooked up. And that way this thing's going to be stopping better than ever. Okay, we just wrapped up the full install of the Speedtech components. We are really excited to take this out and see how big of a difference it's going to be versus the stock stuff. There is no doubt these components are just a lot higher quality. So without further ado, let's get this thing on the road. So we got the GTO on the ground. This thing is sitting pretty nice. With the adjustability of the coilovers, we wanted to get it on the ground to kind of set the stance, the ride height, if you will. I think we're pretty dialed here, but we're going to drive it a little and see if it settles a tiny bit and just fine tune it from there. And then obviously we have some fine tuning on the shocks too with the Viking. They're dual adjustable, so that should be good. But I'm really digging how this thing looks. These US Mags Bandit wheels are perfect for a GTO or any Pontiac. And then the redline tires set it off. But I just really like this car. The classic look is kind of what we're going for. I think we achieved that. Speedtech is going to really make the biggest difference as far as the handling. So you can kind of see, the lighting's not the best, but you can see the control arms there. Everything is so subtle that from the outside of the car, you can't really tell that there's that much work done to it. And then there's our Borgeson brand new quick ratio power steering box. So all that's going to add up when we get this thing on the road. And that's the next step. I can't wait to take this car out and feel the difference, see how it handles. And then we're going to do a fine-tuning alignment. But we just wanted to show you guys the car sitting on the ground since it's been on the lift the whole time we've been installing everything. I think it's looking right. Like I said, we can adjust it if we want to go lower or higher. But we're gonna drive it and see what we think from there. Okay, we just got back from a test drive with this thing with all the new Speedtech components, and the difference is night and day. And that's kind of just the start because there's so much adjustability here that we can really get in and fine tune these Viking coilovers. But I just can't believe how much it changed this car. The handling is much better, up to modern standards. No comparison to the way it drove originally. So shout out to Speedtech, really high quality components. The install went smooth. If you're looking for something to upgrade your muscle car, whether it's a GMA body or anything that they offer from their catalog, I strongly recommend it. This was like a pretty comprehensive suspension kit. So we were expecting a big difference, but I still, like I said, I can't believe how good this thing drove. And more driving yet to come. I think we're gonna take this thing out to one of the local tracks here, Chuckwalla. So we'll really get to put it to the test. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're into the kind of content. And as always, this is a giveaway car, so get it in to win at RestoMods.com.